Well, good day everybody. We're going to start off doing the POR 15 process, but I'm not going to bore you too much on that. I've already gone over that many times in my videos. Did get a package coming. This final stage I already did the degreaser. This is like, I believe it's like the metal etch. So the POR 15 will adhere to it. You got to keep it wet if it's clean metal for at least 20 minutes. Rinse it off with water afterwards. First part's in POR 15. After it dries tomorrow, I'll flip it over, do the opposite side. One thing you got to make sure, and I said this a million times, is wear gloves, be careful. Because if you get this on your skin, you are wearing it for at least 2 weeks. Looking good. Just gonna POR 15 the top side. Let it sit for a day. Sand it, Raptor line it. Let those dry, and I'll probably have to do some touch-ups on them. Once the POR 15 kind of spreads itself out and lays flat, sometimes you get some spots that are pretty thin. I have to go over and check them over afterwards. All right, it's time to get this Jeep out of the garage. Get this set up to Raptor line. On the back side, it's not going to be Raptor lined. I sprayed it with like a matte finish, rust paint. But this side we will. It's been well over a week since I drove the Jeep. Well, I'm glad I got these sprayed when I did, because now the temperatures really started to drop. I'm not going to put these on today. I'm actually going to wait until tomorrow because I want to spray one more coat of this stuff on. I wasn't sure how this stuff was going to react or how it was going to work, but I'm glad I seen this at Home Depot and I picked it up because it makes a world of difference. Like, the Raptor liner is rough, but still pretty smooth, and it's almost like it feels like a rough rubber. And I can tell right now that's going to make very good grip. How long it's going to last, like it's going to wear off, I have no clue, but I'm going to shake this can up, and I'm going to give one more coat. So same thing, you spray it from quite a distance. And it sprays on kind of wet, but it dries clear. Time will tell to determine how long it'll last. Will that coating be reactive to UV and leave the Raptor liner weird finish? I don't know. That's to be determined when you're trying something out that you've never used before. So this is all ready to go on the side of the Jeep. I got nut certs for 3 of them where I can't get behind with a nut. Now, of course, you want to be sure you use anti-seize on there. So I'm going to throw this on, tighten it all up. And also, for this section right here, I have a plate. And that plate's going to go behind right there. So when you step on it, when you use a washer, for example, it's only going to spread the weight over a small little area, but a lot of the force is still going to be centered around the hole. when I use this bar and it's bolted between both, it's going to spread the weight or the force out throughout the whole width, which will take the stress off the mounting holes. I just got to butt it up with 2 bolts. So if you ever go this route with nut certs, you want to do the nut certs up first. That way they're in there instead of... They will start to strip and twist really easy, so you got to be careful. Remember, anti-seize is your best friend. This is for the B-roll people. A ratchet wrench would come in handy, but I don't have them in the imperial size, so these are the nut certs. I like to do them up by hand, and don't go crazy tight with them. I wish I could lay around on the couch all day, Mr. Domgats. Are you having a cat nap? Is that what you're doing? Are you having a cat nap? Oh, I know. Nickety life. Jeep's outside, you get a better look at it. In case you're wondering, yeah, Raptor liner is all over the floor, but it will eventually wear off. So that's how they look in the end. I had to put a smaller bolt in there because of the bend, but could have went with some different hardware. That could always be changed out later, but just going with regular bolts for the time being. I just got some things loaded up. Going to head her out to pick and pull to get some parts for Aubrey's truck. Need a power steering pulley, but I almost forgot something. Almost forgot this multi-tool set. Or should I say multi-bit set. Lots of pad on those brakes, but they're sure making some noise. For a lot of people who are just getting into fixing their own vehicles, places like this are perfect to go, because if you're getting a part for your vehicle, you could practice on the vehicles in the yard first instead of getting yourself into some trouble at home, because at the junkyard, if the problem becomes too big and beyond your capability, you can walk away. When you're at home, you're kind of hooped. So far so good. Came to this one here. Airbags are not deployed, which is good. I just need to move to a different vehicle and bingo, it's right there. So I got the module Aubrey needed. It was on that truck over there. But this one here, sometimes at the junkyard, people have already made it easier for you. That's what I did here. Because that one had the center console and the seats were electric, so I couldn't get it out, so I had to go look around. Now I need to find a power steering pulley. Look at this beauty right here, perfect for an overland rig. 1,900 bucks, already lifted. Square body suburban. This thing is mint. So what I'm gonna do right now is gonna bring the truck back around, and I'm going to inspect the driver's side brakes, because noise is still there. The passenger side brakes were good, but what if the caliper slide pins are seized there, but the driver's side worked and they actually wore down? Something I gotta look at. Well, that kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Yeah, that's exactly what's going on. Come over here to the driver's side. We're metal on metal there. That is the issue. You can see the metal filings. So now I gotta go to the other side, see if I could free those pins up, and if I can't, I'm gonna have to get a new caliper. I knew this was gonna happen. I totally knew this was gonna happen. Remember when I talked about I had a digital angle finder I couldn't find? For some reason, it ended up in this drawer, and I was looking for my brake caliper spreader. Look what showed up. Lo and behold. Hey. Now I got two of them. So I got the caliper off, and there's slide pins are not seized, which is good. For some reason there is tons of pad left on this side and none on the other side. Well, I just pushed the caliper piston back in, so we know that's not seized. Just bizarre the way the brakes had wore. So I have an interesting story here. I just picked up some rotors and brakes for my F-150, and they asked for the year, or should I say when it was built. Now, of course, we all know sometimes halfway through a year that they can make engineering changes and parts can be a little bit different depending on the reason why they changed it, and apparently brakes was one of them. But luckily, I had the build date already photographed and kept in my phone just in case for that reason. So I asked him, I said, what is the difference between them both? So he got out both sets of brakes and compared them side by side, and there was no difference at all. Different part numbers, but same part, if that makes sense. If you put them side by side, you couldn't tell any noticeable difference at all. So I don't know. Aubrey's supposed to be on his way over, going to be doing fog lights in his Jetta.
I lost another screw. Oh, they go down. A little right there.
Yeah, burnt out.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Nothing like having a good quick beer with my buddy Aubrey.
That's right.
Put some fog lamps in his car. Now that you've had the gas Jetta and the diesel TDI, what do you prefer?
Actually, there's not much difference.
Really?
I prefer the automatic though.
Yeah.
The standard's good for the highway.
Yeah.
But around town, it sucks balls.
Sure does. But what about power and like fuel mileage?
The fuel mileage, there's about 100 kilometers difference.
That's it?
That's it, yeah. The TDI had a bit more power. It had 2.0.
Yeah.
It's just a 1.4. But it does have the standard, right? So it got a little bit
more juice, yeah.
Like, I like the car, don't get me wrong. Like, I wouldn't trade it in for nothing. But the automatic would have been better.
Yes. Aubrey will be back over on the weekend. Gonna do front and rear brakes on his truck, like I said. We got that module to put in. I gotta do rear brakes on my truck. I'm gonna be a busy next couple of days, that's for sure. Anyways, I'm gonna get going. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Keep it nice and short. And see you guys in the next one.